Netflix fans, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about the brand new Netflix original movie, Sextuplets. So get down in the comments section and let me know what you think about it, and let's get into it. So father-to-be Alan is shocked to learn that he was born a sextuplet. With his newfound brother Russell riding shotgun, the duo sets out on a hilarious journey to reunite their remaining lost siblings. First things first, I just want to say, I'm a big fan of Marlon Wayans. Now sure, he's been in some really bad movies, especially as of late, and he's never really showcased what I believe he truly has, and that is talent. I think he is talented, and I do think with the right script and the right direction, we saw this in the early 2000s, he can flourish. He's just not gotten the chance. He's taken paths that I don't think are great for his career, but you know what? The guy's making money, he's doing what he loves. That's great. So anything I say in this movie, it's not against Marlon Wayans, because I like the individual. I like him as an actor. I just don't particularly enjoy the choices that he makes when it comes to what movie am I going to be in? Sextuplets, and this is his opportunity, I guess, to do what Eddie Murphy did in the 1990s, and that is play multiple different characters, family members, if you will, all in one movie with the use of movie magic. But it has to be funny. For this movie to work, the entire premise, everything is riding on the fact that it needs to deliver when it comes to the laugh out loud humor, because it can't be subtle humor. This is not a subtle movie. You should see that. Look at the poster. Look at the characters Marlon Wayans is playing. Nothing about this is subtle. So if you accept the fact that you're over the top and you give us good laughs, then I'm okay with this movie. It was consistently stupid, but consistent all the way throughout. I did have an issue though with the script and the humor and the jokes and the fact that nothing about this movie was funny. I don't think I laughed once. And that's the most important thing when it comes to a comedy. Even if the narrative structure is ridiculous and nothing works when it comes to the dialogue and the conversations are stupid and everything is bad except for the humor, it still kind of works as a comedy, right? Because comedies are supposed to make you laugh. But if you don't laugh, and you still have all of those other problems like I did in this movie, then the film completely falls flat, even with Marlon Wayans as our leads. Now, I will admit, here, let's start with the good things, because I'm going to get bad here in a second, and I just want to preface with the fact that, listen, if you like this movie, if you got a lot out of it and you laughed more than I did, all comedies are subjective, so if you laughed and I didn't laugh, then obviously you're going to like the movie more than I did. But I'm here to tell you guys the issues that I have with the film, and my first big issue is the fact that I didn't laugh. These characters didn't work. Marlon Wayans' character, Alan, is fine. He's okay. I don't care about his story. It's a super obvious story. He's going on a road trip, another Netflix road trip film. I feel like we get 6 of those a year, but okay. Give me some interesting characters here. Marlon Wayans puts on a fat suit, puts on multiple fat suits, and then dresses up a tad bit differently for other characters, and they use green screen to an effect that actually works in this movie. I didn't really have a problem with the effects, and honestly, the green screen wasn't completely noticeable until the main end. There's one scene at the end where you could kind of tell they're in front of a green screen, but overall that aspect of the movie was good. The cinematography was bland, but there was nothing really wrong with it, and the movie looks okay. Just like Naked a few years ago with Marlon Wayans and the same director, the same crew in its entirety, that movie looked fine. But even that movie had a more interesting premise than something that we have seen 1,000 times. It's a road trip film with one guy playing multiple different characters, but they're all so over the top, and nothing about the character of Russell, the one that we spend the most time with out of the Marlon Wayans characters, is funny. Russell is one of the worst written and horribly performed characters I have seen in 2019. It was so cringeworthy. Every joke fell flat, and the voice, even the facial expressions, were just off-putting. It's like Marlon Wayans was completely overcooking it. And I get it, if you're coming into this movie, you know you're in for that kind of humor, and that makes you laugh, then fine, but it didn't make me laugh. It felt childish and ridiculous, and I want to say this is a movie for kids, but there are things that happen that I'm like, no, this is not a movie for kids, because these are adult situations. This is supposed to make adults laugh. It's just not funny. It's not funny. There's a scene where normal Marlon Wayans and then overweight Marlon Wayans are jumping on the bed. Well, it's a comedy. What do you expect to happen? Of course, the bed is going to break. Spoiler Is that a spoiler? Really? And then there's a scene where the character of Russell is ordering a snack out of the snack machine. Well, it's a comedy, so what are we going to do to make this funny? Of course, the snack gets stuck and he has to stick his hand up in there. That's original. There's a scene where they're getting chased by a bull, and back to the CGI, the bull looked good, but it's like, why is this necessary? There's a car chase. Of course there's a car chase, because there has to be a car chase, and they do the thing where the hands are on the wheel, and they're just constantly going like this, even though the car is traveling straight. You're making every cliched mistake you can make in a comedy in 2019. We have learned from movies like this. Why do they continue to be made? They're not funny. They're not interesting. You may enjoy the fact that Marlon Wayans is challenging himself in a way by playing all of these different roles, and not all of them were annoying. I think Jasper was a bit over the top. The girl was fine, but Russell, man, the character of Russell was awful. I kind of cringed throughout the entire movie because they take all of these funny elements from other comedies and they put it together in such a sloppy manner. And then at the end, you're supposed to get emotional towards these characters, but at that point, I was just so fed up with the crap that they had put me through for the last 90 minutes. I didn't care. I was ready for the credits, and I was ready for this movie to be over because nothing worked for me at all. And I was going into this film wanting to give it a chance. I'm like, okay, this could not be as bad as the director's last attempt in Naked. It was worse than Naked. Sextuplets, man, this was rough. And I'm going really low with my score. It is a Netflix movie, that's for sure. I'm going 22% for Sextuplets. Obviously not a recommendation from me. Ugh. Next up, 47 meters down to, so hopefully that's good. And then tomorrow morning, I've slightly changed my schedule. Mindhunter Season 2. I had to wait until my wife came home so we could watch the rest of the series together. Okay, you guys the absolute best. Be on the lookout for all of those things, and I'll see you very soon.